Hello, everybody. It's Gary Stuckey with Real Music. Well, could there be new Van Halen music? Don't get your hopes up. We just put that on the table and think about it and hope for it and all that. Sammy Hagar is out on tour right now with the Best of All Worlds tour. He's got his band, got Michael Anthony with him. But that's cool. That's not Van Halen, but it's cool that they're still doing the Van Halen songs. Now, what would it be like if we got a brand new Van Halen album? And you ask, how can we do that? Because Eddie Van Halen is no longer with us. Well, Sammy Hagar recently spoke to Eddie Trunk on his show and was talking about that fact. He said that Alex Van Halen, the drummer, of course, has a lot of music, a lot of jams of he and Eddie jamming. He said that surely they've got a lot of guitars with them jamming and probably a lot more keyboards than guitars. And he said he could get with Al, and if he'll just let him have the music, he can make songs out of it and write songs. He said now if Al was user friendly, and of course he means if Al was willing to let him use the music that's in these vaults. And he said that Wolfie, Wolfgang Van Halen, Eddie's son, he's sure that he'd be, all willing to do that. And that would be really nice. That'd be really cool. It's not the same, of course. I know some people would be like, it's not the same without Eddie here. But it would be the closest that we would have to have a new Van Halen album. It would be Eddie's actual playing. They just add the music to it. And I like the idea. I think it would be really nice. It'd be a really cool way to honor Eddie. And right before Eddie passed away, he spoke to Sammy. So they were on, speaking terms, and they were doing okay. So if Eddie hadn't, passed away, possibly they could have made some music if he had gotten better, but that would be really cool, I think. It'd be really nice to have a new Van Halen album with Sammy Hagar, and keep in mind that it's not the same, of course, but just the idea. Let me know what you think. Now, we know that Al, he sold all his drums and all his memorabilia and all his equipment recently on an auction. And I'm sure he's been very sad. It's been hard for him because he and his brother were close. It's been hard dealing with the passing of Eddie Van Halen. So that just shows you that he doesn't really care about playing anymore, which I totally understand. But if he could just give permission for that music, I think it'd be really nice. I really do. I think it'd be really great. Be cool just to hear at least one song, Don't have to be a whole album. But to hear a song, that'd be nice. And I think Sammy's right. I think Wolfgang would be on board. Maybe somebody could talk Alex into doing that, and we'll see what happens. Just putting it out there. Well, let me know what you think about it. Alex Van Halen, of course, about to release an autobiography coming up this fall, I believe, and anxious to hear about that. Not going to be a lot of dirt or anything, just about he, and his brother growing up together and living life together. And, it has probably been on his mind. It's probably too much to take, and that's why he sold all his stuff. Like I said, I totally understand. And maybe, who knows about the future, but I would like to see that. I'd like to see a Van Halen album. Let me know what you think. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And always remember to keep the music real.